Master the art of conversation with women. Effective tips for building successful relationships. Conversing with women can feel daunting for many, but mastering this skill is a cornerstone of building meaningful and lasting relationships. Whether you're meeting someone new or nurturing an existing connection, effective communication fosters trust, understanding, and attraction. This guide explores practical, actionable tips to help you communicate confidently and authentically with women. From starting engaging conversations to mastering active listening and avoiding common pitfalls, these strategies will empower you to create deeper connections and build successful relationships. 1. Starting conversations in natural and engaging ways. The first step to mastering conversation is initiating it in a way that feels natural and inviting. A great conversation starter sets the tone for a comfortable and engaging interaction. Be genuine and observant. The best conversation starters come from a place of authenticity. Instead of relying on rehearsed lines, use your surroundings or context to spark a conversation. For example, at a social event, "This place has a great vibe. Have you been here before?" In a coffee shop, "That drink looks interesting. What's in it?" At a bookstore, "I noticed your browsing genre. Got any recommendations?" These openers are situational, non-intrusive, and invite the other person to share something about themselves. Use open-ended questions. Open-ended questions encourage more than a yes or no response, giving the conversation room to grow. For instance, instead of, "Do you like to travel?" ask, "What's the most memorable trip you've ever taken?" Instead of, "Do you like movies?" ask, "What's a movie you've watched recently that really stuck with you?" These questions show curiosity and provide an opportunity for her to share stories, which can lead to deeper discussions. Keep it light and positive. Avoid heavy or controversial topics in the initial conversation. Focus on light, positive subjects like hobbies, shared interests, or fun experiences. Humor can also be a great icebreaker, but keep it friendly and inclusive. Avoid sarcasm or anything that might be misinterpreted. Read the room. Pay attention to her body language and mood. If she seems busy or distracted, keep the conversation brief and respectful. If she's open and engaged, build on the moment with follow-up questions or comments. Timing and context are key to a natural start. Pro tip: practice starting conversations in low-stake settings, like with the cashier or a coworker, to build confidence in approaching women. 2. Tips to increase self-confidence while speaking. Confidence is magnetic, but it's not about being the loudest or most charismatic person in the room. True confidence comes from self-assurance and comfort in your own skin. Embrace your authentic self. Trying to be someone you're not can come across as inauthentic and create unnecessary pressure. Instead, focus on your strengths. Are you a great listener? Do you have a knack for storytelling? Lean into what makes you unique. Authenticity is far more attractive than a polished but fake persona. Prepare mentally. Before entering a social situation, take a moment to center yourself. Deep breathing, positive affirmations, for example, "I'm here to connect and have fun," or visualizing a successful conversation can calm nerves and boost confidence. Practice active body language. Nonverbal communication speaks volumes. Maintain good posture. Make eye contact without staring, and smile genuinely. Avoid fidgeting or crossing your arms, as these can signal discomfort or disinterest. Mirroring her body language subtly can also create a sense of connection. Reframe rejection. Fear of rejection often holds people back. Instead of viewing rejection as failure, see it as a learning opportunity. Not every conversation will lead to a deep connection, and that's okay. Each interaction is practice for the next. Build experience over time. Confidence grows with experience. Start small by striking up conversations in everyday situations, like complimenting someone's style or asking for an opinion. Over time, these interactions will feel more natural, and your confidence will shine through. Pro tip: keep a journal of successful conversations to reflect on what worked well and how you felt. This reinforces positive experiences and builds self-assurance. 3. Interesting topics that make conversation enjoyable. Choosing the right topics can transform a conversation from awkward to engaging. The key is to focus on subjects that spark mutual interest and allow both parties to contribute. Explore her passions. Ask about her hobbies, favorite books, or recent adventures. Questions like, "What's something you've always wanted to try?" or "What's a hobby you're really passionate about?" Invite her to share what excites her. Be prepared to share your own passions to keep the conversation balanced. Share stories, not facts. Instead of listing facts about yourself, share stories that reveal your personality. For example, instead of saying, "I like hiking," tell a short story about a memorable hike. Stories are more engaging and provide opportunities for her to relate or ask questions. Tap into pop culture. Movies, TV shows, music, or viral trends can be great conversation starters because they're relatable and fun. Ask, "What's a show you've been hooked on lately?" Or, "Have you heard any new music you love?" These topics are low pressure and often lead to lively discussions. Discuss dreams and aspirations. Talking about goals or dreams can deepen a conversation. Questions like, "If you could do anything in the world, what would it be?" or "What's a place you've always wanted to visit?" encourage vulnerability and connection. Avoid overused or controversial topics. Steer clear of topics like politics, religion, or ex-relationships early on, as they can create tension. Similarly, avoid generic questions like, "What do you do?" as a default opener. Instead, make it specific. What's the most exciting part of your work? Pro tip: pay attention to her responses. If she lights up talking about a certain topic, dive deeper with follow-up questions to keep the conversation flowing. 4. Active listening and its impact on relationships. Active listening is one of the most powerful tools for building trust and connection. It shows respect, empathy, and genuine interest in what she's saying. Be fully present. Put away distractions like your phone and focus on the conversation. Maintain eye contact and nod occasionally to show you're engaged. Being present signals that you value her thoughts and time. Reflect and clarify. To show you're listening, paraphrase or reflect what she says. For example, she says, "I had a tough week at work." You respond, "That sounds really challenging. What happened?" This not only confirms you're listening, but also encourages her to share more. Avoid interrupting. Resist the urge to jump in with your own thoughts or solutions. Let her finish her thoughts before responding. If you're unsure when to speak, wait for a natural pause. Show empathy. Acknowledge her emotions, whether she's excited, frustrated, or reflective. Simple phrases like, "That must have been so exciting," or "I'd imagine that was tough," validate her feelings and build rapport. Ask thoughtful follow-up questions. Follow-up questions demonstrate curiosity and keep the conversation dynamic. For example, if she mentions a recent trip, ask, "What was your favorite moment from that trip?" rather than changing the subject. Pro tip: practice active listening in all your conversations, not just with women. It's a skill that improves with regular use and strengthens all relationships. 5. Building strong, long-lasting relationships through good communication. Effective communication doesn't end with a single conversation, it's the foundation of lasting relationships. Here's how to sustain and deepen connections over time. Be consistent and reliable. Consistency in communication builds trust. Follow through on promises, like calling when you say you will, and check in regularly without being overbearing. Small gestures, like sending a thoughtful message, show you care. Practice vulnerability. Sharing your own thoughts, feelings, and experiences creates a safe space for her to do the same. For example, if you're discussing future goals, share your aspirations and challenges. Vulnerability fosters emotional intimacy. Constructively. Disagreements are inevitable, but how you handle them matters. Use I statements, for example, "I feel upset when," instead of blaming. Listen to her perspective and work together to find solutions. Apologizing sincerely when you're wrong strengthens trust. Adapt to her communication style. Everyone communicates differently. Some women prefer direct, verbal communication, while others may value nonverbal gestures or written messages. Pay attention to her preferences and adapt your approach to make her feel understood. Celebrate her successes. Acknowledge and celebrate her achievements, big or small, whether it's a work promotion or a personal milestone. Showing genuine enthusiasm strengthens your bond. For example, say, "That's incredible. I'm so proud of you, tell me more." Pro tip: schedule regular check-ins in a relationship, like a coffee date or a phone call, to keep communication open and consistent. Common mistakes to avoid. While learning what to do is important, avoiding common pitfalls is equally critical. Here are mistakes to steer clear of. Talking too much about yourself. Balance the conversation by asking questions and listening. Being overly serious. Keep the tone light and fun, especially early on. Ignoring boundaries. Respect her comfort level and avoid pushing for personal information too soon. Trying to impress. Bragging or exaggerating can come across as insecure. Focus on genuine connection instead. Neglecting nonverbal cues. Pay attention to her body language to gauge her interest and comfort. Putting it all together. A sample conversation flow. Imagine you're at a social gathering and want to start a conversation with a woman you've just met. Here's how you might apply these tips. 1. Start naturally. "Hi, I couldn't help but notice your scarf. It's so unique. Is there a story behind it?" 2. Build confidence. Stand tall, smile, and maintain eye contact. If you feel nervous, take a deep breath and remind yourself to be present. 3. Choose an engaging topic. If she mentions she loves travel, ask, "What's a place you visited that completely surprised you?" 4. Listen actively. When she shares a story, nod and respond with, "That sounds amazing. What was it like to be there?" 5. Deepen the connection. Share a related story of your own. Then ask a follow-up question to keep the conversation flowing. 6. End thoughtfully. If the conversation wraps up, say, "I really enjoyed talking with you. Would you be up for grabbing coffee sometime to continue this?" This approach is natural, engaging, and respectful, setting the stage for a potential relationship. Mastering the art of conversation with women about more than just words, it's about building genuine connections through confidence, curiosity, and empathy. By starting conversations naturally, boosting your self-assurance, choosing engaging topics, practicing active listening, and fostering open communication, you can create meaningful and lasting relationships. Avoid common mistakes, stay authentic, and practice consistently to refine your skills. With these tools, you'll not only become a better conversationalist, but also a more confident and connected partner in any relationship.